Is this audio working? Okay, whatever. So one of the things that I have been messing around with is metal. As you can see here, this is what it sounds like so far, and I'm just using my laptop speaker, so this isn't going to sound great mix-wise, but I have like a rough idea. I'm playing a lot with a groove down here to make the drums sound a little bit more natural, and then I've been layering them. If you watch the last metalcore video, which I'll put up in the card in the top right corner, this sounds like this. Again, I'm not on any speakers. I'm just using my laptop speaker. So if it doesn't sound great, that's why. But one of the things I was messing around with is I've been doing these atmospheric kind of intros for the metal I've been working on, just to make it sound a little bit more unique. A lot of the metal I grew up listening to didn't really have this, I would say, but it's something that has been kind of moved towards the new metal. So I grew up listening to like August Burns Red, Haste the Day, bands like that didn't really work with a lot of atmosphere. They're really reliant upon the actual instruments, but we have bands like Spirit Box now, or I Wrestled a Bear Once. Veil Maya is very synth dependent. Same thing with Ocean's 8 Alaska's second to last album with Hansha and some of their newer material like Metamorph. Anyways, they have a lot more atmospheric, which makes the sound and the song overall sound a lot wider. It can fill in an entire space, whereas I feel like before, some of August Burns Red's music now just sounds a little bit lacking in comparison to some of the other stuff that is coming out. Not to say that it doesn't sound as good instrumentally and lyrically, but just atmosphere-wise, I feel like a lot of their music, or a lot of those maybe really instrument-reliant bands, are lacking. Anyways, so I've been trying to mess around with the atmosphere, so we have a couple layers here. So we have this Must Die atmosphere. I just tuned this down. We have this Virtual Riot sample with one of my Patreon audio effect racks on there. Honestly, go to Patreon, sign up for the free trial, download everything and just cancel it, get all of it, since I'm not really posting there anymore. But this basically just beefs up the sound. So we go from this, again, this sample's tuned, to this. Makes it sound a little bit less like the sample, gives a little bit more space to it. And then this is what I want to show you. So we have this little click. Let me go ahead and group all of the elements together effect wise. And then this is what the little click sounds like. It's just a little percussion click. I think this is within Ableton, so you can just search for this. What does it say? Click button. That's what it sounds like. So I started messing with some of the effects. So if we just go ahead and go one by one, again, I'll go ahead and turn all of these off. So saturator, this is on all of my tracks. This is just to make sure the sound's not clipping, so this isn't really doing much. And then I started messing with the delay just to add a little bit more of a rhythm to it. So we go from to, sounds kind of cool. And then we have this phaser flanger, and this is where my ideas started to come into play. So we have this, and I started messing around with some of the dials. So I did, my goodness, I'm burping a lot. I did phaser, I did 33 notches, the center 336, spread 100%, and blend 0.07. And then I started messing around with the amount, and the feedback is actually what started to dial this in. So without any of the feedback, we get that. And then as we start to dial up the feedback, you get this kind of untamed, just frequencies that are bouncing everywhere. So I thought, what better way to kind of use that than to just throw a chroma on it. So that's a little bit too much, but if we just throw the chroma on here, this song is an E, so I just have E and F going here for some dissonance. If we go ahead and turn on that chroma, again, without it, and with it, you get this kind of dissonant mess that sounds really cool. So I wanted to kind of hone in on that. So doing some reverb on top of that and some Camel Crusher, my distortion of choice. This is free, go download it. We get something that sounds like this without any effects on it, to this with the effects on it. That's a little bit too much feedback. Let's dial that back a little bit. What did I have? That 87. Much better. You kind of add some tonality to it while tuning the sample. So if you listen to the section without that part, it sounds like this. And if I go ahead and turn it on, it sounds like this. So you could easily go into Chroma and have the notes modulate or change over time if you wanted this section to be E and then this section to introduce the F as well, to add some dissonance as it kind of goes into this part, this breakdown-ish part. Totally up to you, but those are just some things that I came up with or that I wanted to share to hopefully give you some ideas on what you could do with your music as well. So that's all I have for you today. Check out the other videos, check out the GUMROAD, and we will see you again in the next one.